Hello, wonderful friends. This is Rex Red. It is almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and I am here kind of doing exactly what I shouldn't be doing at 3 o'clock in the morning. I am having a cup of decaf coffee, and I am here live. We are EZ3DTV. And as it says, please do like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and join us in the live chat. If you can make it here when the chat is live, we are live right now. And today, or this evening, this particular day on the 27th of November, 2024, we are going to work with content. And that is what this is about. Now, what you can do is you can take this out and you can just kind of take these tabs out and make them large. And that's what we're going to try to do today, is just make this content large here. That's eyelashes. And so I'm going to just kind of go down through my content here. I have in the content library, down in this place called categories, if you right click, you can create a subcategory. And the subcategory I created is called My Categories. Of course, very original title. And so I've created this My Categories so that it's distinct from the default. And if you come over here and look, you will see here that in my smart content, I have my default, which is here. And my default categories, that is created. Do not delete that, by the way. Now, so you have your default categories, and that is where all your smart content stuff lives. Now, I think if you were to delete it, you can repopulate it by using your database manager, okay? But it is not recommended that you delete it, okay? Now, in the My Categories, I have created, when you right-click, you can say then in the My Categories, which is actually, you can't do it here. You have to do it in your content library. So when I click on my content, I can right-click and say create a subcategory. And it will create a subcategory of whatever I put in for a name. And this particular name I use for this one is figures, okay? And why it has all these figures in here, I am not sure, because I didn't really want them in the figures. They shouldn't actually even be here. We select all of this, right-click, and remove references. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And we have a few more left. Right-click, remove references. Yes. Okay. I don't want them in the top level because when I drill down here into these others, see now in the figures category, I created beard, brows for 9 because the Genesis 9. Now your brows from Genesis 8 also work with Genesis 9. You just have to auto fit them. Okay. So clothing, okay, and in this clothing folder, I've right-clicked and added where it says create a subcategory. I've created a subcategory of boots, dresses for the females, and hats for both males and females, and jackets, pants, shirts. And these are all pretty much all the shirts that show up in the list as being a shirt, shorts. And, it's like there aren't very many shorts here. I think what I could also do is put bathing suits here. And there may be other words for shorts that don't show up here. And these shorts probably all show up in the pants category. So, like these says shorts, but these are actually pants. And even in this pants category, it doesn't seem as though it found a lot of pants. These are shorts. Now, you can look for underwear. You can look. Some of them come up under the word like intimates. And so it's your job to go through and find all of your content, all of your pairs of pants that you have purchased, every last pair, and make sure that you have them in this list. So when you go down through, you can say, okay, there are the pants. Shirts, okay, and there's a lot of shirts here as well. It doesn't seem like that many, though, to me, when you figure I have. So I'm not really sure. Okay, now this has this propensity to just disappear like this when I move it sometimes. And you go into panes and you go to content library. I'm not sure where it went. Yeah, and sometimes it just disappears. I think it might be up here, maybe. Shader mixer. No, we come back. And what's down here? No. So, at this point, we have lost our content. And I can see if maybe it's up on my other monitor. Input, HDMI 2. It could have jumped up there. I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but let's see. Window, workspace. Okay, panes. Content library. There it is again. So it just came back all of a sudden. See, it disappears like that. And window, panes. You have to learn. You turn it off, okay, and then panes. You turn it back on, and hopefully it comes back. Yeah, okay. So what is good is to be able to put this. Now, if I go like that, okay, it does let me drop it up here. What's good is to be able to put this on another monitor if you have a second monitor. And go through all of this. Now, even though this is a lot of shirts, a lot of things that are called shirts. It gives me a lot of choices. But it is not all of the shirts that I own. That is for certain. And there are sweaters, okay? So we could now go, let's take this content library, put it down in here for now. Let's see what happens when I do that. And drag this over here. And then we'll pull this in a little bit. And we're going to start categorizing things. So I'm going to go to clothing. I'm going to right-click and create a subcategory called sweaters. Just sweater. And if I do a search over here now in my default content, in files, sweater. All right, we're going to find all these sweaters. Okay. And those are sweater, we can take them out. Those are sweater. We'll just put them all in here. And we will delete out what we don't need. Okay, but now in this content library up here, bring this here and bring it up here. It's not letting me move it. Okay, but let's just try this. Okay, I think what I have to do is actually move it like that. Okay, it does let me move that up there like that. And now this is the sweater category, why these pants are in here. So I can take and just take some of these things out. This wardrobe, I don't want pants in. Remove references, yes. And we've got shoes in here. I don't want those in there either. Boots, right click. We're going to just keep this stuff organized. And that's what's good about this. Bumps and scales, I don't need them. Remove references, these different resolutions, I don't need those. These are materials, okay, for sweaters. We don't need them, but we do have a wardrobe there. Sweater off, on, okay. That's a wearable. If you just want your wearables, okay, remove those references. You could create a subcategory, which would be like textures for sweaters. But now these materials, I just want the sweater, and I will go in and find materials, remove references if I need anything else. Okay, these bumps, now all these things here, they can go. Delete, remove references. Now these sweaters here, these are actual sweaters. So now these are materials, okay? So you can come through like this and hold the control key and just grab some of these things out of here. This is like the massive job of organizing your content. Now these are not sweaters, okay? They are actually sweaters, but I think they're sweaters for these little things here. So we're going to go down until we get to the next sweater here. These are materials, but that's a wardrobe. Okay, let's make sure we're not deleting something here. Okay, right click, remove references. So when I come in here, this is, it says a bow tie. I don't want a bow tie in here. It's not a sweater, okay? All right, so these are, now at some point I might regret deleting all of these textures because there's not much in the sweater category. I probably could have left the textures so that I could have them right here to change the color, but I'm not worried too much about it. Okay, those are poses, simulations. These are poses, props. Okay, we'll get rid of these for now. Remove references. Yep. And then we're going to go here until we get down to there. Right click. Remove references. Now, if I want sweater shaders, I'll create a thing called shaders. And I might at some point create a category called shaders and put like my favorite metal shaders and my favorite and Uber shaders, things like that that I use a lot. So, okay, these are colors for it, but this, that's a wearable Winston Avenue sweater. Okay, we got these materials here as well. They can go. All right, so this is our sweater category. Right click, remove references. It just gets me a quick sweater of all the sweaters, at least that are listed. Okay, I'm sure I have more than remove this reference. I'm sure I have more than this. These are shoes and socks. If I need shoes and socks, I will create a separate category. So this says outfit, okay, and this says pants. And then these, this says vest, and that says shirt. So I don't think those are sweaters, but that's a sweater. Sweater pants, we're not going to use those, okay. Shoes, they can go, and when it all boils down to it, out of 17, that's the thing is that they remove references. The Daz store is very adequate in some things and very inadequate in others. And I would say sweaters is one of those kind of things. So, but there are some very nice sweaters that they have here, okay? Holiday sweaters, wardrobe sweaters, winter days sweaters. Okay, that was fun. Okay, so that is how you do it. So now at least when I come in here, Now, okay, we've lost it again, so it just disappears like that for some reason when you drop it in certain areas. But that's okay. We have a workaround. We just come back here to our window works panes, turn it off. Window work panes, turn it back on. The content library, and it comes back. Isn't that wonderful? So now I can't move. We move this down here like that maybe, and then we're just going to drag this back in. And so now we have this little sweater category, shorts. I don't think this, like I said, I don't think these are all the shorts that I have. It's terrible. And so, but we could go here and look for, let's see. Okay. This is clothing. What I would like to discuss next, okay, we're going to go switch back to my other computer so I can see if people have joined the chat. And it doesn't look like anyone has yet. I don't know if anyone is here yet, and I am going to have a sip of my decaf coffee. Try to do that as quietly as possible. Okay. Now, I would like to discuss an area that is very kind of difficult. It's very dear to my heart, but it's a very difficult category to wrestle with in my mind. And that is the category of environments, okay? Now, what I could do is go into create, this is scene elements. And I believe I have a category in here, environments. Okay, and I've dropped a bunch of things into here. Okay, but I don't think I'm ever really going to use this category. Okay, it's just because when I click environments here, and then there's architecture where there's a bunch of stuff in here as well. And then there's a few other things that have some stuff in them. But it's mostly when you click environments, you kind of get everything that is an environment just about that I've purchased. And I believe there's probably a couple hundred things that just aren't even listed here. And all. So, and what I could do is just go into each one of these, and usually you have your environments area here, and you just take these sets and scenes and you throw them into your environments tab. And so I could go into each one, and there's a lot of them, and it would probably take me, a couple of hours to go through all these and just take all of the environments like this Arabic hall, go into the environments, just drag that in. That's an environment, and I could double click on this, put it into my scene, and it's an environment. It's a beautiful environment that with the couches and everything is separate, and we could put some figures down here swimming in the water. It's a beautiful environment here. So that's the kind of thing is each one of these environments are. So my suggestion is to until you're sure that you've found an area where there's a bunch of environments that aren't listed here, then I might consider doing this, changing things and creating an environments tab. And then there's this other program here called, now when I open these, see, these are small, even the images for them are even smaller than these images, because it's like you kind of strain to see them. And I've asked Daz if there would be a way that they could take and allow us to just, even if they end up blurry or something, to just make these a little bit bigger, you know, where you could hold down the control key and scroll, and they would just get a little bit bigger so you could see more about what they are. You know, it's like I would rather see one row of them than a bunch of rows of really kind of hard to see stuff. It's not impossible to see, but it's just there. It would be nice to be able to kind of it sit in my mind easier if I could see them bigger, but that's not the case. So I just wanted to kind of say that after a lot of thought, I've just decided if I need an environment, I'm not going to go up into here. I'm not going to break and go into these environments and break them all apart and all. I'm just going to go to smart content, to environments, and I'm just going to find desert wreckage shelters. I've been kind of looking for something like this. So, and just preload the scene. It would be nice to have all of the sets in one. Now, this looks pretty cool. This is nice right here. We'll put a spotlight in, turn off that darn. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So I've gone into some kind of structure here. So we open this up a little bit more, and we got a really nice kind of scene to build something with. Put an HDRI in. And so these are, what if we do something like this? Something really weird. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So, yeah. So I have, just decided, like with managing content, is to just use this environments tab here. And like I said, there, and just to give you a kind of extra tip here about things, is that if you don't know what you want to make for a scene, just scroll through your environments and you'll come up with an idea. It's like, and so this is the preload of this merge into scene. This is the Grove Brook Park, a haunted add-on. There's actually another product of this that isn't haunted. It's kind of like it's like a beautiful little park. Well, this is the one. This is the scary park. Okay, add on here. And do we have lights or any kind of lighting coming in or what? We got to wait a while. Is it going to crash? Okay, I guess not. Oh, they've put a nice little environment here. See if we can catch some of the sky. No, it turned off my sky. Okay, that really spooky sky. But look at this. See, this is really spooky. This is very cool. See, I've purchased so many of these environments and never even opened them to take a look at them. This is amazing right here. This is very spooky country. This is very cool. We put some kind of really crazy spooky thing. This is I believe. Now I wanted to talk also. We had that big. I just kind of finished up my cloud series, and there are, I think they're called procedural volumetric something, okay? But before VDBs, okay, there were still, and there still are, like when you go into the environment tab, there are volumes in there that you can create for fog. And so there were VDBs. Technically, theoretically, there were volumes, there was fog, and they were volumes. They were not like planes, okay? They were volumes, and like the fog, and I believe it's called like procedural something. I can't remember now the name. And I like to use the acronym for them, but they don't actually use the name acronym. People just call it this big long name, and every time they refer to it, they refer to a big long name, and they don't really abbreviate with the acronym, but there is an acronym that you could derive with it if you want. But what these are is they use Iray to create, because this is not a this. If I look at this base park here, okay, it's going to somewhere here. There might be in this group something that says, okay, ground fog, okay. Now, if we go to the ground fog and you go to surfaces here, ground fog, this is not this is not a VDB. This is an Iray thing, okay? And what they do is they use Iray, and they use within Iray, there are algorithms. It has to do with scattering and doing things really funky with Iray. And what it is an algorithm, okay? That creates by using shaders and using all kinds of really kind of proprietary, weird kind of stuff with Iray. That Iray has a way of creating shaders, okay? And these, and so there are many products that have these shaders, and you'll know because when you go to click on them, this is the fog. You can't break it down any further than this. This is the fog. We turn the fog off, and the fog is gone. Okay? So, and this also has some kind of specular thing turned on here, too, to make the lights pop out. Okay? So, but this is a and you can always tell if it is one of these, like procedural something, I'm not sure, can't remember, volumetric procedural texture or something, you can always tell because it has Iray stuff. When you go to look at the surfaces, it just looks like Iray, okay? And so it will give you fog. And the thing is that VDBs are meant to be less computer intensive than, say, a particle field. And a particle field, and like I told you that like a VDB was like a bunch of tractors all shrunk into small little, it's actually not really that. It's something else. A VDB is that would be a particle field where you have a bunch of tractors all in this group, all in a box, okay, where there's a bunch of where each piece of dust is like a John Deere tractor shrunk down so tiny you can't even tell what it is, or something like that. It could be any kind of object. I mean, I don't know a lot about this, but I do know that these procedural textures, they are algorithms. They're meant to simulate fog, okay? And they do a very nice job of it. It's something that's contained within Iray. You don't have to go outside to this open source VDB kind of thing. Now, the VDB is a whole different technology where it's a box, and inside the box are filled with these things called voxels. And the voxels are like pixels, okay? Like in a 2D picture, you have all these pixels going across and down the picture, okay? And so, but in VDB language, it's not a 2D image with pixels, it's 3D with voxels, okay? And what they do is they decide how many voxels, or you decide how many voxels you want in the box, and the voxels are all turned off. And the only data that your computer has to compute is the voxels that actually have values that are turned on. And that's how your computer is able to do very complex atmospheres and and smoke and things like that is because it only has to compute the voxels that have an actual value, okay? And so it's kind of aware of those. But there again, even though they're voxels, they're in a 3D world, and they can be very compute intensive. And that's where these, they'll say that these volumetric things that are part of Iray are intensive, but if you really think about it, they're like less intensive than a VDB, because every single voxel has to, and what's happening is our computer here is doing some magic here to make this kind of work. Okay, it's doing some really magic stuff, and you can turn this off. This is all these little fireflies if you let this render long enough. I just thought I would kind of add this in. Okay, so what we're looking at is a few different things. We're looking at volumes that are planes, and then we have this really weird procedural kind of algorithm that creates fog, and this same algorithm is this is the same kind of fog that when you go into your environment settings and go to parameters and that into your scene, and you go to your environment options here and you scroll down and it says matte fog or ground fog. That's that same kind of Iray fog. Okay, it's different than a VDB. Just so you know that exists, and in the Daz store, if you buy products that are kind of older, you'll find fog like this. And just any kind of really like 3D fog like this that's not a VDB, it will be this Iray fog. Okay, if it looks like a cube and all, it's going to be this 3D fog. Okay, and I think this fog is very cool as well. Okay, so I've got some kind of lighting stuff going on here. It may be because I have this, I believe that I still have the sky on, or maybe it got turned off. No, it did. So, okay, so we have some kind of gray sky to make it dark. It did change our, so, all right. So back to our content, organizing content. So here in the figures category, I have expressions for my figures. These are Genesis 9 expressions. Okay, so these, because I only work with Genesis 9 figures now, and so this gives me all of the Genesis 9 expressions to date that I have for my Genesis 9 figures. Not sure why that is going so slow. It might be because this scene here, I moved it and it was trying to redo. So we're going to take this park out of here. I'm kind of divided because I'd kind of like to go and showcase a lot of these environments, but on one hand, but on the other hand, I'd like to talk about putting things. We got jewelry here, so necklaces, rings, earrings, piercings, things like that can all go in here. You can separate them out if you want, but no, we got nose rings and all. It's just easier to do. These are tattoos. I think I'm going to take these lie things out, yeah, because I have all of this. So this is coming out. We're going to delete that, yes. And because when I go to skin 9, I have all of that in tattoos. Okay, and we go down in here, and we got ink, skin. These are the different, and this is my tattoo search. This is like every tattoo that I own. And so it gets me and these are all for Genesis 9. Okay, so these will work with Genesis 9. And then I have this ink skin. This is a particular product. Now I can take and go into my tattoo products, and this is the tattoos from Search, and that was with a Genesis 9 figure selected and with the content. So all of these tattoos will work with a Genesis 9 figure. So it's just now so I have my overall strategy is like scene assembly, and it's not like I want an assembly line so I can just pump out pictures like 10 of them a day kind of thing. That's not the philosophy here. The philosophy is that if I can get my hands on the like just instantly come up here and see. So I use this visual menus a lot. Okay, and so I start by just putting a Genesis 9 figure in the scene, and I use this to do it. I don't have to go, and before I had to go into my smart content, type in the word Genesis 9, and scroll all the way down, just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until I found my Genesis. Now, I used also favorites and scripts. I would also use those to put my Genesis like in my favorites here as soon as this comes in. I keep this folder here called dev items, and I have my eyes, Genesis 9 eyes, and all of this. Just some basic items, Genesis 8 male, Genesis 8 female, and Genesis, the eyelashes, tear, the mouth. So just things like that. Genesis 8.1 dev loads and the actual non-dev loads, okay, of these figures. And those are 8 and 8.1, and these are 8 and 8.1 for the regular, okay, with the non-dev loads. Eyebrow card, just so I can put an eyebrow on a figure real quick. I have them up here, but this is much more convenient because I can actually see a picture of my figures and go through them and say, these are all my Genesis 9 figures. These are the dev loads, okay? So it's just really, really convenient to have this like this. So I can just see, and so there's the orc, and there's the, and these are all Genesis 9, okay? Because I work almost exclusively with Genesis 9 unless I have to work with Genesis 8 for some reason. Even if I want to use a particular Genesis 8 skin, like something that is really like designer skin that there's no skin quite like it, what I'll do is I'll use a Genesis 9 figure and then put the skin. Okay, where is my Genesis 9 figure? Let's look at that. Okay, right here. And so we've turned off our light here in the scene. So, okay, we have actually this. Let's put an HDRI in, anything. Okay, we'll go with this to give our scene some kind of color. All right, and so I use this, and then I can come here and say, okay, just for the sake of it, for now, we're going to put some pants on real quick. And as you can see, this is very quick. And then I can say, okay, I want a male shape. Okay, these are my own. I kind of prefer using my own male shapes that I derive from other shapes. So like I'll use a little bit of this figure that I bought and a little bit of that figure and that little bit of that. And so we'll go with Stanley today. And so I make my own so that when people see my figures, they don't look and say, oh, that's Michael, or that's, you're never going to see that with my art, okay? I just don't use other people's figures because I want my figures to be somebody that they don't know. They're going to see hints of other characters, okay? And then so as I go down through, I can say, okay, well, here's my hair, okay? And boom, it's an assembly line. But the reason why I do this is not so I can push out art like really fast. The reason why I do this is so I spend less time searching for stuff. Okay, let's do the math. This hair. Okay, just throw some hair on them. He doesn't have any skin yet. okay? And so this is, so I can spend more time because there's a ton of things that I need to do to this figure, okay? And if I can just do stuff without having to get stuff on the figure, okay, now we just do a really quick pose. Okay, this is, well, body hair. Okay, throw the body hair on, might as well. So we're going to need body hair. And so I just go down through, and we've already got a beard, okay? And there's now this poses. Let's find a pose for him. Okay. And what's this? I'm not sure. I can always switch the pose, okay? But it gets my character kind of ready for, okay, there's a pose. I've used this pose too many times. I got to find a different one. Something unique, okay? And let's do this. We'll have him down on the ground here. Yeah, okay. And so we come in here like this, and we got to give him some skin. But, all right, so now we have, I have up in here, also I have brows, because I'm not going to probably want those brows. They're kind of okay, but we'll see. We have eyes. I may want to change the color of his eyes, change the style, all of that. And then here is the skin. He has no skin yet. And I try to, now I just got a new character. What I'm going to do is add the new character's skin here. So we go to figures, and we just got Rufus. And I've got this KOA. We've got a bunch of new characters here. Sancho and Poseidon. I think I put Poseidon up there, but let's go into this guy. Okay, go to materials where it says full materials. Okay. And we're going to now just select that. And then I go into my skin thing here and go over until I find a blank spot. And then I go here, click this, assign action. Very easy to add new things in. Okay, and we're going to select that. And now we have Rufus's skin. So let's put it on our figure. See what it looks like. I bought this character just for his skin, okay? But also, I think that face might also blend in and create characters very nicely. So I don't think that'll be a bad option. Now, the thing is that with the skin, it's like, okay, it's kind of dark, but it's good. It's a little bit on the red side, but it's probably partially because of, now he's got gray hair, which is kind of odd because his chest looks, his chest hair. So if we go now, see, now that I have the figure, I have him in a pose, I have some clothes on, and now I can go into this figure and say, okay, his skin looks too clean. Let's go into his skin. This skin is supposed to be real high quality. So, it looks pretty good, actually. Now, his eyes are sunken into his head. We got to see. So I don't want to spend time just kind of getting him in the ball, getting the right hair, I want to be able to put those things on because I've got things to fix. I've got to fix his eyes. Now, there's no color in his cheeks. Okay, I got to fix that. Okay, I have to fix. And then his skin has no like blemishes. He doesn't have any moles or freckles or even the slightest amount of kind of that makes his skin like less. I might want to put dirt on him. Okay, he might be outside working construction or something. So those things are going to take me a ton of time to do. I'm going to fuss over like which eyebrows to use. So I like to get him, I like to have these things so I can get my figure in, get a shape on him, get some hair on him. Then I can look and say, okay, the hair isn't the right color. Okay, once I get things into the scene, I'm not going to have him in these pants. I'm probably going to have him in some construction stuff. Maybe he'll have some power tools here. Maybe he'll be inside of a mechanic's garage and have a motor with parts all over the ground. I don't know. You just kind of have to, and I may actually, instead of making his hair, that gray hair kind of looks good on him, I might make his eyebrows gray and his body hair gray instead. So there are options, but and I have to quibble over getting this hair the exact right color of his hair. So these are the things. It's still going to take me a long time to make this scene, but I'm able to just kind of assemble and get things into where I don't have to look down through. Like if I were to go here and say, okay, I need to find Genesis 9. Okay, Gen. Okay, so I go Genesis 9. Okay, well, I have to scroll down and scroll down and scroll. This is what bothers me, looking for a particular Genesis 9. Now, if I type in Genesis 9 like this, maybe it will narrow it down some, okay? But I have to scroll down. There it is, okay? The starter essentials, okay? So that's what I'm trying to avoid and then when I say go to hair, well, I have to like scroll down and say, oh, what was that hair I wanted again? Well, you see, when I come over here to this hair here, see there, I've got I don't have all the hair textures. I just have the hair, okay? Every different kind of hair, just the hair, all taken and extracted out of these things, just with the hair, okay? So I can go through, okay, I want to go back. I didn't want to, okay, it didn't move it, good. So as you can see, I can just come here. I could put clown hair on him. I could put any kind of hair, the pixie hair. There's all these hairs, and I'm up to 18, 19 different pages of hair, okay? And there's like 30 different items per, okay, I just put another thing of hair on him, okay? So we're going to go accept, okay? We'll go unsupported. We'll go Genesis 8. I don't know what it is, but we'll delete it as soon as it's on. Okay, so this is why I use these, okay? And also there are many other aspects here, like these HDRIs. Okay. Are you done? Okay. What I need to do here, this is 11, 10, 11. Okay, I've messed this up, so what we're going to do is take this raker hair. We'll go here. We're going to cut it. Cut that action. And then we'll go over here. Okay. And we'll go in here. We'll paste. Okay. Then we'll go back. Until there was that one missing. Okay, this is 11. 10, so this would be hair. A hair 9 would go there. Okay, so I kind of messed up. Assign action. So we go to visual menus, A hair 9. That's 19. We want A hair 9. Exact. Okay, that's it. So now I fixed that. It's easy once you kind of really get good at this to add new things, create. If I run out of these, if I run out of these boxes, like I get to 25 and this is all full and I need to add another one, I can just quickly add another A hair 26, okay, and add it to the whole group, and then I have another whole thing of hairs that I can can use. Speaking of hair, okay, so there's this new hair, okay? So I come in here, and that's for Genesis 8. This would be Genesis 9, okay? So I select that. I go to my hair, and we'll go to 25. We'll go back until the hair actually starts, till we run out, okay? Come here, go there, assign action, content, and there it is. Boom. Now it's in there all the time. When I want to use that hair, it's right there. Okay? So this is how you do this. And now this is flow hair. Okay? I don't remember. Okay, this looks like it's actually tune hair. But I don't believe I've used it. So we'll go and add that in here too. Oh, is it here? No, I don't see any flow hair. So it's probably not. So I go here, assign, and now that flow hair is there. And we close out of here. And so I can look at some of the latest stuff. I think I've put this hair in. But let's, we got clown hair, a mature hair. I think these are in here. It's okay if they're in there twice. Now I use the Genesis 9. Now if I wanted to use this hair on Genesis 8, I could actually auto fit it from the Genesis 9. So I just go with use the Genesis 9 one. I don't want it all clogged up with other kinds of hair. We'll go back instead. All right, and we go here. See, I don't see it here. I think my latest stuff. So we go here, and we add this hair, and it's really cool. Now we're gonna look back through. I can kind of see if I have it here. Just kind of look real quick, and I don't see it here. See, so that's the thing, is to come through and make sure you put all of your new products in so that they're right here for you when you need them. So, and this is all Genesis 8 hair as well. I just have to kind of guess whether if it's an auto fit. I try to use the Genesis 8 instead of the Genesis 3 hair. Some of it's Genesis 3. If it doesn't fit right, what I do is I'll look and say, oh, so it's like Holly, Hollie, Holly long hair. And it's like, okay, I don't know if that's Genesis 8 or whatever. So I'll just come back in here and go Holli, okay? And there's the Holly long hair for Genesis 9. So it tells me then, so then I can go back, find the Holly long hair, put it on real quick, and not have to worry about auto-fitting it with the wrong character. So it's not too big of a deal. It's actually quite quick. And then once I can go into this Holly long hair and say, okay, I want to make the hair like his body hair here. Okay, we want to make this gray. So let's go first with the torso hair. And we can go and click on materials. It might show up. Okay, if we come down here and filter by context. And there it is. Okay, I believe this is the body hair. Okay, and so we go to default, materials. And I think we've got this white hair material. Okay, this is hair white all. So if that's an H material, so we can just select Genesis 9 like that. That makes it very easy. And it changes all of his body hair to white. It's not very white. Okay, let's try this. That's for the vellus hair. Okay, so we could go now and just select this armpit hair, all this torso hair, go into surfaces, select it all like this. Base color, we want it a little bit lighter, okay, to match his head hair. This is the kind of stuff you do after you get your figure kind of, that's a little bit too much, and I don't think I got the torso. It did his arms and legs. That's too much for the arms and legs. Okay, so we'll go with the arms like that. Bring them down a little more. My gosh, he could light up a room with that hair. Here we go. Just bring it down. And then we could take the torso hair and bring that up. I think that's got to kind of come out. So, and there's just too much hair here, so we can go with the torso hair and go to our cutout opacity. Just bring it down a little bit. Well, quite a bit. We could do that with the arms also, and just, okay, a little bit more. So it's just not so much. This is what you do. Once you get your figure done, it's going to still take you hours. Good morning, Joachim. Hans, welcome, welcome, friend. So now that we have like a smaller amount of the hair on the chest, very nice for you. Nice to have you here. It is morning for me. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. So now I could take this, now that I have the correct kind of amount of hair on his chest, I could make this a little whiter to kind of match his hair. So it's going to take a ton of different things to kind of get him into the right. So the Genesis 9, okay, I would say we could go now into I have it up here, into one-click PBR skin. I think I'm going to take his gamma, and we're going to make him just a little bit lighter complected. Okay, he's a little bit too Florida tan for me. So just take some of this skin down a little bit. Yeah, I think that works. And okay, accept. And let's put him in. So this gets me into that kind of. Now his eyes have serious issues. Okay, his eyebrows. Okay, his eyes are just sunken right into his head. The first thing we're going to do, let's go out of Iray. Control L, light up the scene a bit. Okay, this is typical of what I do with every scene I make. Okay, as I check the eyes. Okay, so we go in to the eyes. We go to parameters. We go 120. It's not always that big, but you go to 120, you get the eyes, 120, oops. Scale, 120. All right. And then we pull them over a little bit like this. Sometimes these things you want to do before you put the hair on, okay? Because the hair can slow everything down. You can just turn the hair off, but you have to make sure now that your eyes, you look at them from the side and make sure they're not sunken into his head too far. And this one looks like it could come over. I just moved his head. I didn't want to do that. Okay, select this one. This one looks like it could come over a little bit more. And maybe out a tiny bit. Okay. And because we did that over here, we probably got to pull this eye out as well. Okay. You have to fix all of these little things, okay? Now, you can see it's the same thing here. It's got to come over a little bit more. And maybe come out a tiny bit. Just a little bit. You don't want to mess up the... Okay, here. All right. And then we have to look and make sure that we moved it over, that we didn't leave a big crevice in here. That's okay. All right, so now we go back to, now we zoom back out. Now our eyes are right, but they're too big. Okay, so we have to go another step, okay? It's always this kind of same thing. We're going to save this as A grease. Okay. We'll call him a grease monkey. I don't know what grease monkey. We'll call him that. Maybe we'll put him in a garage with wrenches in his hand and all. So he's a mechanic. All right, so let's but we're gonna have to put some overalls on and some jumpers, a jumper of some kind. We gotta fix his eyes, so we select the Genesis 9 eyes. We come here, we go here. I do this every time, almost. It all depends on if his shape, see, his shape came from a Genesis 8, a bunch of Genesis 8 characters that I put together and made his face and converted them, that shape, to Genesis 9. And when you do that, the eyes don't fit right. So you always have to adjust the eyes like I just did. Okay, you have to make them bigger. You have to align them manually. And then you have to come in here to your morphs, type iris, and you have to use this program. You have to buy the VinMe morphs, and you just take the iris. Where is it? Iris size. Just make it a little bit smaller, okay? So that his irises aren't so huge. Okay? Because we did just expand them 20%. Okay, so now we go into Iray and we take a look at what this guy looks like. And see, now we got something really nice, okay? So now we can take and find, and so there are other things now that I do, okay? I put blush on his skin. Look how his face is all like one color, okay? It doesn't look very good, okay? Because it's all one color. And it looks like something's going down his nose here. I hope it's not like, it looks like they've left some kind of line on his nose where when they did the skin, they used some kind of mirroring, okay? That doesn't look very good. So, all right. But his skin is very nice otherwise, but I just noticed this kind of line. It doesn't seem to work right, okay? But it's okay. It's not that bad. You're not going to notice it when he's in the room with lighting and all. Now his eyebrows, okay, are the wrong color. You just notice all these things and you have to fix them. And are they the right eyebrows? I kind of like those eyebrows. Those are actually the eyebrows. But I think I'm going to try something different. Okay, so we're just going to get rid of the eyebrow card. And we'll go into our eyebrows here, which is right here. Oh, we have to select him. Okay, we're going to try some different eyebrows. Those aren't bad, but I think I can do better. Okay, we've got, where do we go here? Okay, back. Let's try these bushy ones first. Yeah, I think we'll go with those, and then we're going to have to make them. So we go to now the brows, which the brow colors are, I should really keep them in with my eyebrows because I use the Genesis 9 eyebrows a lot. So, but okay, we're going to go to Essentials. Essentials. Okay, expansion. Okay, now I think this is where our eyebrow colors come in. It might be here. Those are eyelashes colors. Okay, so they're, I believe, in the starter. Okay. Okay, eyebrows color. Okay, eyebrows color white. Will this work? No, we have to select the eyebrows. The eyebrow card. And that still may not work. No, we have to go into surfaces and select it here. Okay, now let's try it. Why isn't that working? MDL. Okay, that kind of worked. But we got to go now here to our base color. We got primary and the base. We'll just make them lighter. And it's a little bit too, let's bring it like this. Let's take the color out of it. All right. So that kind of works. It still has too much color in it for, or else his beard needs a little more color in it. So we could take his beard. See, we have to kind of blend it all together. The mustache, okay, Mathis hair top. Which one is this? Okay, that's the mustache. So we come here to our surfaces. Oh gosh. And we have a ton of things here. So we're going to go with the hair dye. Where's the hair dye color? And we're just going to take some of the green out and some of the blue out. All of those colors together make white. Okay, that's the root color. And we just make so it kind of turns a little bit red. Okay, that kind of works. Bring it down a little bit more. The hair dye. Okay, we'll go the root color, bring that down a little bit here. And this, that was a little too much. The mustache, okay, and this down. And we're still gonna take this down some more. And okay, we're gonna go darker. Just bring it darker. And like that. Okay, and we'll do that for the goatee. Chin goatee. We're going to do the same thing here, all these hairs. Okay, here. We're just going to make it a little darker. Once we do that, we can actually edit them. Like that. Just bring that down. And okay, that works. Now let's go and create a camera view. Okay, see, so now his skin kind of works. And his hair color kind of works. All right, and if it works up close, it'll work, you know, at a distance, to some distance. Now, I think this particular HDRI is coloring his hair like to make it look like a little bit. Now, his skin color, when I look at it here in this particular light, it looks too green. So what I'm going to do is just kind of fix that real quick. So we go to, see, I have so many things that I need to do to fix these characters. I don't want to fuss with just getting their hair and getting these things, getting them set up. I'd rather spend the time working with their color. So if I just take the green down a little bit in his skin, okay, and now he's a little bit too red. Okay, that just kind of did it. Take the green down a little more. Now he's kind of on the bluish. I think I went a little too heavy-handed here. Bring the red up a little bit. Just take some of that greenish out. Now what he needs is his... Now I may put a different... Or once I get him into like the mechanics room, into the garage, I may want to redo his skin a little bit and get it to look natural, okay, to get the right blend for it. But his skin kind of looks, but his skin doesn't have any kind of blemishes, and he doesn't have any red in his cheeks. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is go here and go to blush. And we'll add our blush to it. Okay, here the geoshell. Okay, and then we find our geoshell. Okay, this is the blush effect, and we'll make him bashful. All right, a little bit of bashful blush. It's going to put a lot here. Okay, so we just go into the blush effect, surfaces here, and we take and turn down the emission. Then we bring the emission down to go 5 here. Okay, what did I do? Okay, cutout opacity. We're going to bring that way down. Okay, what I just did with the emission, I don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to undo what I just did. That we'll leave that up, and we'll do the cutout opacity and bring it like way down here. So just a little bit of blush there. A little bit of color in his face. Okay. He's an older chap. I don't know why one side looks like a lot of blush. Oh, it's because it's in the dark, and this has an emission. Okay, so we can, it's actually turned the blush into something that is a light. Okay, so we can just kind of turn this down to 1, so it's not, so it's more of an actual layer than emission. Okay, and we can bring this cutout opacity down a little bit more. Okay, so there's just, now another effect, okay, is detailer. So he doesn't have any kind of moles or age spots or anything in his skin. So we go to the skin detailer and give him some, well, where is it? Oh, I have to select him. And there it is, skin detailer. Double click on this, and I keep that up in my quick stuff too. So his skin just looks too perfect. Like it's got some kind of beauty filter or something. I almost, okay, when we get him into a different HDRI, his hair color is going to change. So I probably should have put him into the garage where he's going to be before I started kind of messing with his hair. But it's okay. It's just going to be less kind of this brown and brownish red. Okay, see what that just did? It just kind of gave him some character to his skin. This blush is just terrible right now. This blush effect is like on that one side is like really strong. So we're just going to take it way down, I guess. We go back into surfaces, the blush effect. We'll just bring it way down for now. Okay, that's good, I guess. All right, so now he looks a little bit more kind of, now he does look darker. Now it made him darker. We go to this Genesis 9 here. And we select him, Genesis 9, and we take our translucency color and just bring him, okay, our translucency. So we take this translucency weight and just drop it down a little bit. When you drop it this way, he gets lighter. Okay, a little bit like that maybe. Okay. All right, so now we have a guy with some character in his skin, okay? He's got little moles and things like that. He's got a little bit of redness in his cheeks, okay, just a little bit. So it gives him, now when we put it, we can put him in just about any world and he's going to work, okay? That's the thing that we do, is we can put him in just about any world. And this guy with any clothes, with any kind of thing, and he's going to carry his own. So we've got him in a kind of well-lit kind of studio, like kind of bright world here. And especially if we were to render this, let's see what we've got, we would see him quite... But he's got character now. And if you just think, just putting that skin detailer on his face where he has now blemishes and things like that, just putting that on his face changed his skin a lot, okay? It made his skin look realistic, okay? It just gave him a little bit more. Look at what it did to his body here. Okay, it just gave him, it gave him some realism to his skin. Now I can take that skin detailer and again just use the cutout opacity and lower the amount of the effect that it does on him. So that's the way you work with that. So now I may be able to, if I'm going to put him in a jumpsuit, the chest hair and the arm hair and the leg hair, that's all going to go. Okay, so let's see what we can find for jumpsuit. Jumpsuit. Okay, space jumpsuit. So it doesn't, okay, let's go and turn that off and see what we can find. So jumpsuit. Okay. That wasn't quite what I was looking for. Okay, this is for who? Let's take a guess. It's for Genesis 8. Maybe he's in a space hangar, okay, working on a spaceship, okay? We could do that instead. Okay, I don't think I picked the right. Okay, those are the pants. Okay, let's find this product, explore product. Okay, and this is for Genesis 8, so it was a good guess. Okay, we're going to undo that, and we'll put the whole jumpsuit on him. Because it's just too small, I guess. So what we have to do is, now that looks good. We're first going to take off the leg hair, the nostril hair can stay, I guess. The leg hair, the torso, the arms. We'll get rid of that, see what happens. Okay, that didn't seem to do much, but all right. Now we go to the jacket first. We'll take the jacket. Save this. And we'll go with short. Okay, we're going to go to... okay, so he has a turtleneck on. Okay, we'll go with the jumpsuit jacket. I believe as long as the jumpsuit jacket fits. So we go to parameters here. Get rid of the word iris. And there are so many things that work right in Daz Studio. Now, we're going to check and make sure we have, okay, base shape matching. Okay, collision items. So this could be at least 3. We'll see what happens when we turn that to 3. And boom, okay, it just needed to have a little bit. Okay, but we could also go here with our smoothing. Okay, that's good for now. And we will go with the pants. Where are the pants? Jumpsuit trainers. I don't know what that is, but okay, we go here. And we'll just make this also 3, just to make them fit a little bit better. A little bit more aggressive at fitting him, but we still have a problem here. And so what we're going to do is make the shirt, the jacket, a little bit larger. And I think there might be a morph here somewhere. Okay. Sleeves up, expand waist, expand shoulders, expand chest. Let's try that. Okay, that didn't do much. Expand shoulders a little bit. Okay. Collision iterations. Okay, now there might be something here that's like expand all. Sleeves up, expand sleeves up, sleeve, expand shoulders. Okay, so what we got to do is make it fit him. We go here to, this is why we have these awesome programs. Why we have mesh stuff. Okay, so we're going to make this a little bit bigger. We're going to go with 8. And we're going to grab this shirt here. We're going to pull it out. See if that works. Okay, a little bit here. I can't see what I'm doing. All right, which one is it? Okay, so this would be the blue. The blue. Okay. Pull this out a little bit. And this blue. And we pull this out. Okay, let's pull this out a little bit. Okay, let's go here so we're not working in Iray. We pull this out. Okay, this, just a little bit here, and pull this out. Okay, here. This. This. Okay, what's happening? Okay. Pull some more of this out here. Some of this out here. Okay, and some of this. This. Okay. That's kind of working. All right, we got a couple of little spots here under the arms and all. We might as well get them right. Okay, and they got a little spot here. I think that might be the belt. Let's zoom in a little more and see what's actually wrong here. Okay, I think what we do is we pull this down. And then we take his pants, pull them out. Okay. I guess that works. It kind of covers that. We got something weird. It looks like he's got boobs. This may actually have been made for a Genesis for a female. When I look at this now, let's see what we have here. Yeah, for the females. Okay, that's why it didn't fit him, because I didn't fit it for the female. Okay, so what we got to do now is we got to go back into our tool sets. And I think it's this one here where we can get rid of the boobs. We got to go to the shirt, jacket. Okay, hold the control key. Oops, that's making it worse. Is it the alternate key? Yeah. Okay. Bring the alternate key in and push this in. All right, and we take the same here with the alternate key here. I'm kind of doing it in a kind of quick way, but then I can smoothen it. Okay. And what we'll do is, okay, we can smoothen this a little bit. We're going to take the turtleneck, push that in. Okay, the turtleneck. We need this a little bigger. We'll go with 12. Let's kind of push the turtleneck in like that. And the turtleneck over here. Push that in. Okay, boobs be gone. Now, but let's see what's happening here. We got a kind of problem here where I'm not sure what that is. I think it's the turtleneck in the middle here is not it's under his. So what we've got to do is go back to our turtleneck here. And let's try smoothing it a little bit. Okay, we got to hold the control key, and I think that'll bring it out. I got this too big. Let's go to 8. Let's go to 5. Okay, alternate. Which one brings it out? Okay, that one brings it out. Okay, there we go. And we could bring the turtleneck out a little bit here. Okay, we got to pull out our jumpsuit jacket. Let's smoothen this a little more now here. Okay, we'll take this here and pull it out. Now, what I really should have done was, okay, I think what I'm going to do, I have so much to do here on this. I'm going to just take this off of him. Okay. And we'll, I'm going to take the jumpsuit, all of this off. And I'm going to put, okay, let's put his shorts back. Okay, we have his shorts. He still has shorts on. That's what we're seeing down here, this kind of mess. There's the base shorts. Okay, so we can take this off. And what we'll do is we'll, looks like I've done something. No, I haven't. Okay, is this just something real? Okay, it's just the way he looks in he's got like shiny skin. Meyer's skin has gotten shiny. All right, so, all right, that could be heading for a Daz crash. Let's save this. All right, what I'm going to do is auto fit it to him the proper way by switching it from the, okay. When I do the auto fit, I have to do the Genesis 8 female, okay? Genesis 8 female, not male, all right? Then it should actually fit his body. Like, it should fit his body perfectly. I shouldn't have to be doing all this stuff, okay? Another one, Genesis 8 female. Not sure where we got all the shine from. We should be able to fix that. Okay, now supported Genesis 8 female. And it looks like this went on his chest properly this time. Okay, Genesis 8 female. I shouldn't have to edit those parts. Okay, and now we go, that's a turtleneck. Okay, Genesis 8 female, accept. And you can see the shorts are coming through, but this should fit properly. I think I just totally, look at that. See, so now we can get rid of the shorts. See, this was worth doing, like just not, okay, so where are the shorts? Shorts, base shorts. Okay, we can get rid of his shorts. And now it's like ready. It's just done. That was well worth undoing. Now the only problem is his hands are going through his clothing, so we have to kind of mess with them a little bit. I'm wondering why his shine is so high, but we'll see. We'll figure that out probably when we get him into the garage or the hanger, wherever it is. Like, he's obviously got a problem with his hand here, so we're gonna have to fix that. I think I'm gonna use this here, and we're just gonna grab his hand and pull it up like that. Okay, that's a little too much. Bring it down a tiny bit. Sometimes this is a really nice way to do things. And then we're going to grab this. You have to get just the right angle and then kind of pull it out like that. Okay. All right, so now we can back off here. Do I have a camera here? Okay, I don't. So let's put a camera in here. Let's get him kind of centered for now. And look at us. You got to look at us, guy. All right. and save this. See, I didn't have to do anything weird with his eyes. Like, I didn't have to train them and point them at the camera. I just moved him into, if I have him sideways, I just turn his head until he's looking at the camera. You just kind of, it's not that hard to line him up to the camera. Okay, you don't, the last thing you want to do is have his eyes point at the camera, because sometimes when they're looking sideways, that one eye is going to look like it's looking right straight through his nose, okay? And you have to do them manually. You have to line them until they're right, okay? You don't point them at the camera, because once they're pointed at the camera, you can't do anything with them. You're stuck with them. It's like, oh no, what do I do now? Well, unpoint them and fix them the right way. So that's the way you do it. You just don't, I know, I thought that was the most awesome thing. So wherever I move my camera, they're going to look. If you're animating the eyes and you want the eyes to look wherever you're going, well then, yeah. But other than that, you adjust them manually. And so if you got one eye looking way off to the side, you move it until it doesn't look weird. You know, you just move that one eye until it looks right. So you can see hundreds of Daz promo images where one of their eyes is look very, very weird. Oh, that's because not all of them, but some of them think you need to point the eyes at the camera. You don't do that. Just don't ever do that unless I said like you're animating the camera and you want the eyes to follow the camera. You can even animate them yourselves without having to do that. So you have total control of the eyes, okay? Now, it looks like he's looking at the camera here in texture shaded mode, but I could go into Iray mode and find out, no, he's actually not. It's off a little bit. So then you move your camera, you move it until it's right. Okay, I'd say he's looking down below the camera, so we just kind of tip this up a little bit like that. Okay, so that it doesn't look like he's looking down. He's looking right at us. That's what you do, okay? So this looks superb. Now, did I put a camera in the scene? I think I did. I think this is, no, that's my, okay, so now we're going to create a camera. Put it in the scene. Create new camera. Copy. All right, so now we have a camera. We're going to lock the camera. So we can, and now let's find a hanger or some kind of, see, and it fixed his chest. His chest doesn't look like he's got boobs. So, all right. All right, so now let's go here to, now he's one handsome guy. He really is. So let's go now to our, environments, and let's find some kind of environment. Now, so, all right, now we are looking for something sci-fi. We're in files. We get lost in files here. So we're going to look for something sci-fi. Now look at this now. What's this? Sci-fi Star Bridge. Now that looks kind of cool. Let's explore the Sci-Fi Star Bridge. We'll merge it into the scene. Okay, well, yeah. That's kind of cool. We got to have some kind of back thing. Oh, I just changed Z. Okay, I changed the perspective view. Okay, I just undid that. So let's just, okay, right click, merge it into the scene. Okay, I can change the perspective view. Now it looks like he's looking up. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a difference here. Okay, now that looks pretty good. So this could be our scene. What we got to do is let's look for a wrench. That will kind of give it away that he's actually doing something creative. Let's put this in his hand. That's a pipe wrench. This is an actual wrench. I think we'll go with the pipe wrench. Okay, so we got to find our heavy-duty pipe wrench. Let's go out of here. Where's our pipe wrench? Parameters. Z translate. We'll bring it out. I think it's under here. Okay, we're going to go Y translate. And Y rotate. Okay. And we'll rotate it. What? Z rotate. No, that's not. Well, we want it like this. Okay. X translate. We're going to make this bigger. Scale it up so it's nice and big. And Y translate. Y translate. Okay. Z translate. We're going to also rotate it like this so that you can tell it's a wrench. And then we're going to go Z translate so it goes back near his hand. Y translate so it comes down. Z translate so it goes back. Y translate so it goes down. Okay, and I'm going to turn his hand like this. And then we're going to push this thing back a little bit more. Z. Okay. And we'll twist it a little bit more along the X, is it? Like that. And Y translate. Okay. We're going to bend this hand in a little more so that his hand isn't so crooked. The other way. Okay, and pull this out like that. X. Y. Okay. And we're going to turn this a little bit. Does X rotate? Yeah, like this. Save this, and then we're going to put an HDRI into our scene. Crimson space. We go to our parameters of our environment. Okay, the draw dome is on. Save it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, put this with our figure. All right. And so now that's parented with him. Now I think if I move him, it'll move with him. Because I think he's a little bit too... Y translate. Yeah, it does move with him. I think he's down to a little too low. All right. And then we're going to do, well, let's see what if he's looking at the camera. So we go now to Iray. What have we got? Okay, we could. Now we have a background, okay? Something there. So let's put a light in the scene, a point light in front of him so we can see his face a little better. Z and Y. Z. a little bit closer like this, so it's okay. Then we give it some power. Let's turn the display off so that we don't have it in our face here. Visible in viewport. Okay, it's still there, but it's just not visible, not blocking us. Now it looks like he's floating in the air, so I might have to move this whole thing up. And it looks like he's looking over to the side, so we'll fix that. Okay, so let's put a 5 here. Let's make it too bright. Okay, and we'll bring this down a little bit. Okay, so he's not looking at us, and it looks like he's floating in the air. Okay, now what we could do is take this wrench. Let's find his hand. Right hand. Okay, so we're going to take this wrench and we're going to put it in his right hand. Okay, right hand. Okay, so if I were to say twist his arm a little bit, like, or bend it. Okay, that's not working. Z. Okay, we're gonna, we have it in there, but we have to, okay, I have it on the pinky. Okay, we need it in the right hand. Okay, did that work? Oh, that's the wrench. We want to go now to this part, see what happens. All right, I'm in the wrong mode here. Okay. We go like this, bend this, and that should move with it. No, Z. Okay, we have to parent it. I'm not sure why it's, okay, parent. Change parent. Right hand is, so that's what it's supposed to be. Parent in place. Okay, that is his left hand. That's the problem. Okay, so we want to put this in the left hand. Okay, now it should work. Yeah, okay, so we can take this like this. We can twist this a little bit like that. Okay, there we go. We could twist this a little bit. And let's zoom in on the hand and make sure it's in the right place, that it's not going through his fingers. And I did pretty good on that, getting that positioned. Like perfect, almost perfect. Okay, so we go like this. Almost perfect. Okay. We could go like this a little bit. Bring it down. Okay, now we go to the perspective view, back to the camera. Okay, I don't need these other cameras. I'm not going to use them, so where are they? Let's get them out of the scene. Okay, just so I don't have to look at them. All right, those are gone. And now let's take this Starship Bridge. What happens when we bring this up? Where does he actually hit the ground? It's like very far from the ground. Okay. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. That looks pretty cool. Now he's not looking at us, so not really. So we're going to turn him a little bit. He's not really on the ground either. So we'll turn him first. Oops, that's too much. Let's see. Now he does actually look it's just looking a little bit over. Okay. And now let's bring up our starship again. Okay, I'm going to undo my camera, unlock my camera. It's probably easier to get him to look at me by moving my camera. Okay, and then we'll do our starship bridge. We'll bring that up a little bit more. Y translate. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'd like to get him centered like this. So we're going to change his eye positions. Okay, so he looks down. We can change his head. Okay, so we just grab a hold of his head. Bend his head down. Okay, I'm going to do this. Here, we're going to bend his head down this way. And we're going to have his head side to side. Go maybe this is okay. And then we're going to twist it so he's looking at us. Okay, let's see what that looks like. All right. Now see his skin. A lot of things aren't working right for me. So his skin looks too dark. There's just certain things that don't look right. Let's play with a point light for a minute though. Let's kind of light him up maybe a little more. All right, let's, instead of the point light, let's put some drama in here. I never use point lights. I always use spotlights. So, all right, which side is the light probably better going to be? I would say from this side maybe, okay? Okay, so it'll come down onto the wrench maybe. So let's go here with a spotlight. Select our figure, okay, so that it's centered in the spotlight when we zoom around. Okay, now let's grab our spotlight. And so we can see where our positioning is. Okay, I'm not going to do what you probably thought I was going to do because I wanted to light his eyes. So if I have it too high, it's not going to light his eyes. We'll bring it out a little bit. Okay, I think that's enough. And a little bit lower. So it just lights part of his face, but it catches his eyes. That's a rule right there, okay, to live by. You don't want to, the art that went into, okay, it would be useful if there was a pair of props which are long, thin pins which are centered on each eye and passes through the pupil that would allow you to see exactly where each eye is pointing. Yeah, that would be probably interesting. If there were like long pins, so, but that's the thing is, I don't fuss too much with it because it doesn't take me long to just move his head, move the camera, whatever, and all of us, and there's like a warm spot, like you're getting colder, you're getting warmer, and you can tell when your figure, it's just, a human has a sense when somebody's looking at them versus over them or around them or beyond them. It's just like you get this kind of like feeling like something when somebody is looking at you. And it's just not that hard to capture that. Okay? So but I hear you on that. It'd be nice to be able to turn on something to say that the eye, to turn on some pins so that you can see exactly where the eyes are pointing. So, because you don't want them pointing at a point, because even when you look at somebody, you're not looking like, your eyes aren't like darting together into one single point. You're looking kind of generally at something. So, all right, let's go. But that's a good thought. That's very good thinking, what you have just proposed. Let's try 5 and see what happens. Okay, so we got something really strong here, but this is good. We'll go 1. 1 is probably enough. And we bring this down a little bit. Okay, now it's still it's not natural enough, okay? All right. And it's still too high, I think. So we'll go with 1. We'll go 6. Just something to light him a little bit on that side. Okay. And I think that's probably good. Maybe a little bit less. Like 5. 5. You can use a null object point eyes to that and move the null object to move the eyes. Yeah, I have, again, though, the eyes are pointing at a point, and that's the problem. It's pointing at a very specific point, and like, again, when you move it over to the side, it looks like one of their eyes are looking right through their nose, and once you've parented them to that null object, you have to unparent it anyway, then to fix something like that. So I just stopped a long time ago. I'm going to give this some color, this light, maybe try a little bit of red and see what happens. Reddish orange. Okay, so that looks very unnatural. So maybe we go with the yellow. And that makes him look too green. Maybe just a little bit of it. I really can just figure that with the temperature as well. Now, for some reason, his arm doesn't look natural. So what I'm going to do, it just looks contrived or something. So I'm going to try to mess with this pose of his arm. Just maybe bring his arm in a little bit. Bend it in first. We'll go to this. It just doesn't look right. Try to bend it in. There we go. And then we take this right here. Move it side to side. Out, bend it out like this. And then we could turn this. Y rotate. No, not that way. X rotate. No, not that way. Well, I should have looked. It's the blue one. Okay, and then we got to move this down in. We got to reset it and rotate it a little bit like this. Okay, I think that might look a little better. Save this. So yeah, I just, I experimented so many times with pointing the eyes, and then I just couldn't get one eye right, and so I'd have to unpoint it. What's the point? If you, in the end, have to unpoint them to get it right, you might as well just put them where you want them, okay? It's not that hard to do. Like, as you can see, I just moved his head, moved the camera until, boom, I got that spot, okay, where it seemed to work. Let's work on render settings now. I've been here 2 hours, so I think we're pretty much done, folks. I only did a little bit of what this whole thing was about. I went into making a scene. I think, I think it's helpful when I make scenes in front of people because they kind of get to see some of the stuff that I do a lot. All right, so, but now let's pull this maybe down in a little more. Like, maybe it doesn't need to be. Yeah. So, all right, so we're going to take and look at our render settings now, 1920 by 1080. I'm going to do this at 2000, 16 by 9, and we don't need to worry about, we don't have any, like a ton of instances here, so we don't have to worry about that, I don't think. Maybe a lot of these things are instances, but there's not that many, not like thousands. And so here we go, and I don't really like this background, the HDRI, so I think what I'm going to do is try to find something maybe yellow in the back instead. It just kind of blends in too much. So we'll go with a different HDRI. This might, something like this might work, okay? Something maybe yellow instead of like all that one color, and we'll see how that works. And then we're going to go here with our progressive render. That's all already set. And I guess that's good. We'll save this. And let's give it a quick render and see what it looks like. Now, if I were to render this at like 8,000, I'd see every single flaw, and that's what you kind of want to do. Even if you're not going to use it at 8,000, you want to render things like at 8,000 and just kind of do, you don't have to render it right to the last iteration, but you can render it to see if his knee's going through the floor, if you can see his back feet and notice that one of his back feet's going through the floor, that kind of thing. Let's see what we got here. Okay, his skin color is just not right, okay? So I think I'm going to just change his skin to something else, okay? I'm just not having luck with his skin, okay? So, and this area looks like it needs to be kind of pulled up a little bit, but maybe not. I don't know. So just certain things you notice. Okay, let's cancel this, but let's take a look at his knees. See what's going on. His knees look fine. His foot, you can't really tell. There's something going on back there, but you can't really tell if it's going right through the floor or not. This area kind of looks, something looks weird here. It may be because it was kind of a female thing. So the skin just isn't working. So let's go with here. Let's go with a skin that I know will work. Let's make sure we have him selected. Okay, and we'll go with our Nathan's skin. I'll still have to adjust it, and I hopefully the rouge and all of that stuff will stay in place. It will just replace the main. Okay, why his skin has this shiny? Oh, that's probably the that's the rouge. Okay, that's doing that. I might turn that up a little more. Okay, so now let's go to Iray and see what it looks like. Now his skin looks more realistic. Okay, so let's do a render. Let's save this. I can just right out of the gate, it looks better. Okay. I would say he might need a little bit of that rouge in his cheeks. Those are things you want to kind of fine tune. So I'd like to have something that he's working on, like have a robot that's kind of like all, or some kind of sparking thing, the opening up in the floor. It'd be kind of nice to have something just instead. Oh, look at our background. That's much better for the background. Now see, look, his eyes, everything there looks so much better. So I think what I'm going to do is try pulling this whole little area up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to try select his pants. That's what we have Mesh Grabber for. Okay, where is his jumpsuit? Pants. If it doesn't work, I'll just undo it. But we're going to go here to here. Okay, and we're going to zoom in. Oops, that's my camera. I don't want to do that. All right, let's lock the camera. The camera's in the right place. All right, so now we go here back to our jumpsuit pants. And we'll go to our perspective view. We're going to just give this a little yank here. It's that female thing going on. All right, and we come here to this. And what happens when we grab this? Just kind of pull this up. And pull this up like this. And over. Pull this up here. Little things like this bother me. Okay. Now, can we smoothen this out? Or it's probably not going to let me smoothen anything. Oh, yeah, it is. Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. See that? We have had success, people, here. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. Go back to the camera view. Yeah, see? Save this. I think that looks better. Yep. See, it fixed it. You don't leave things that, you know, now I might be able to even fix that a little bit better, but don't leave things unfixed. Okay, if something bothers you, fix it. We're going to go back to the perspective view here. I'm going to pull that up just a little bit more. We'll go back into 9 here. Okay, that's the smooth. Let's go back to our move tool here. We're going to try to pull that up a little bit more. Like that. Okay, and I think we got something showing here. Pull that down a little bit. Okay. And this is some kind of belt. This space jumpsuit belt. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's the belt. Okay, these are the pants. Okay, so what we could do is the pants here. Grab this part here. Maybe pull that down a little bit. And then we're going to smoothen this out. There we go. And smoothen this. Okay, look at that. Back to our camera. That is the magic of the beautiful, beautiful Geometry Sculptor. And you tell me if that alone isn't worth $20 a month, I don't know what is. Okay, so that is worth $20 alone a month. So yeah, it is. So many thanks to the Daz, to the powers that be for bringing that about and giving us modeling tools in Daz Studio. So, all right. He's a handsome dude. So now we're going to go here and we're going to add just a little bit more light to his face. We'll go the lumens. Let's go to 6 and see what happens. Brighten him up just a little bit more. Let's go make him pop out of the scene. We'll go to 8. There we go. And what happens if we do some camera lighting effects? We go with our, see, it makes his eyes pop. If the light had been a little bit higher, he'd be raccoon eyes. You don't put even though you think that the drama, you need that drama of the light coming down from the top. It's only in your brain. You don't have to have the light. You always make sure that the light is sort of around eye level, okay? Or you're not going to have any eyes, okay? Now, is that wrench going through his leg or not? I don't know. We could just kind of fix it just in case. Go here, 9. His hand. And we're going to go side to side like this. And okay, I think I'm just going to leave it. I don't think it is. Let's go and take a look at it up close. Perspective view. Here, let's take a look at his hand. If it's not going through his leg, we don't have to do anything with it. How about this? It's okay here. I think that's okay. You can't see it. His hand's kind of crimping, grabbing it. So it's not something you can see from the camera. We're going to leave it. All right. And now the other thing. Okay, this is all good. Save this. And there's a little bump here coming out here. What is that? Is it going in or out? Perspective view. I don't think you can. Yeah, we got a bump. What is it? How do we fix it? Okay, I've pulled this out. Yeah, see that? You got to fix things. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go here back to our tools. We got to select the pants. Pants. And go back to tools. Go back to this, Geometry Sculptor. I'm going to save this, okay? Now, because I have to pick the right tool here, and I think it might be this tool, Sculpting Brush. And then what I do is, okay, make that a little smaller. We go 4. Okay, and then I think I have to hold the Control key to push that in. Yeah, just a little. Just use the right tool for the right job. So I just wasn't sure if I was going to get the right tool or not. Okay. He's having a baby, an alien baby. So yeah. They do things a little bit different here. Okay. See how we fixed that? Just the right tool for the right job. Save this. Yeah. Now we got a little bit of some boobs here, but that's okay. I could push them in a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right? Because it's so dark, you can't really tell. And he does have some cut there. It's probably part of his, and there's a little wrinkle here. It adds a little bit to the realism. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Okay, what if we add a little bit of atmosphere here? Some of my fog spindlies. Okay, and we've learned a new thing about the fog. We can come in here and we can take a little bit of this surface here. We take our multiplier and make it a little bit less reactive to the light. Okay, a little bit more. What happened? Okay, oh, this is the multiplier. Okay, it just gives us a little bit of atmosphere here. Okay, and we can take and turn our spotlight up a little bit more now. So it's not just so pristine. It's a little bit of industrial feel. And we go now to our spotlight parameters. And let's give this just a little, another bump up to maybe 9. Let's see what it looks like. Now let's do a little camera effect, maybe some depth effect. See what that looks, depth of field. Okay, we've got to go to our perspective view and turn it sideways. See where our depth of field is coming through. It's way in the wrong place, I think. Okay, select the camera. It sure is way in the wrong place. So we go to distance. We got to put that near where his eyes are. And we'll make this a little wider. Just a little bit of depth of field. I want to make sure his wrench is in the... Okay, we're going to move this focal distance a little bit further out. Okay, back to the camera. All right, let's see what we've got here. Now, let's render this. Thank you for watching, all you awesome, lovely people. Thank you for watching and hanging with me. So we've been 2 hours and 20 minutes. This is going to do it for this video. So we're going to, this is probably the last time I'm going to go into render. And it's like, oh yes, he's got to have this and that. So this is it. So we're going to, this will reticulate nicely. That's very nice. See, he's looking at us. It's not impossible. And see, now this eye looks like it's over a little too far. I can go in and move it. I don't have it like glued. You see, I can move it. That's the thing about you. Just do your eyes manually. If they're not looking at you, fix them. Okay? So, but there's kind of a little bit of a something. It gives his eye a little character, I guess. So, but I usually would normally go in and just pull it over a little bit. But I think it's going to be fine. This looks so realistic. It really does. Now his eyebrows are not quite light enough, but that's okay. We're gonna. So at this point, it gives us something to... The eyebrows have got to be a little lighter, so we're going to go fix them. Okay, they're just not the right color. Once you get him in the scene, you can look at him and say, now his skin, I would say, it's not too green, it's not too blue, it's not too red, it's just perfect. So there's just, if it was too red, I'd take some of the red out. If it was too green, I'd take some of the green out. If it was too blue, I'd take some of the blue out. But there's nothing, it's fine. It might be a little bit on the dark side, but it's still actually pretty good. So we're going to go with his brows and see what happens when we just lighten them up a little bit. Where are your brows? Eyebrows. Eyebrows. Okay, surfaces. Okay, here. Base color. I think when I put the new brows in, I don't think I brought them up. Glossy color. Okay, what are we going here? Base color. Let's see what happens when we go primary. Okay, so they're pretty dark. Okay, we'll do them separately. The base color will just give a little bit here. We'll bring them up a little bit. And then the secondary color, we'll bring them up quite a bit. A little bit more. Okay, okay, glossy color is fine. We don't have any other colors lurking around down here. We do have this one, the top coat color. We're going to bring that up a little bit too, as well. That one can trump out all the other colors, and I don't mean to use that word. That it can override, let's put it that way, that the other colors quite a bit. So we're going to go here even lighter. I want them to look light. All right, so now let's see what happens when we go. Okay, the primary color, we might have a huge... Okay, that might be overriding the color, so we'll bring the primary color up a little bit too. There we go. I think that did it. Can't really tell until we go in and take a look. So are they in the ballpark? Yeah, look at that. See? That's what we needed to make his eyebrows work. Now his eyelashes, you know, these are all different things that have to do with making sure your figure looks right, but I'm not going to mess with the eyelashes, okay? So, and I could give him some white stubble because he's got a beard, but we could, just to give him a little bit more, you know, it's like he's perfectly shaved. Like, it's like, how about giving him a tiny bit of white stubble? So, you know, there's things like that you do to bring in the realism. Anything you can do to kind of carve and decorate your character. Now remember, he's got now the blush is showing a tiny bit. It doesn't just have white skin. We could bring the blush up a tiny bit. So this is what it's about, is really fine-tuning those elements that we've added. He's obviously got, I think I would like to bring that. I think I've got 4 minutes and we got to be out of here. We're going to play with the blush a little bit and bring it up. That's what we got it here for. So the blush effect. We go here to, we just select it and bring the cutout opacity. What if we bring it up? He's going to look like a clown. Okay, that's too much. So I can see it all the way from here. So we just do it a little bit. let's see what this looks like. So that tiny bit of redness in his face adds some, oh, I tell you, sometimes it's just like most of the time, most skin figures do not have enough color in the face. It's just like one color. And you have to give them a little bit of something that in the face. It probably added way too much. So actually it's okay. I think it's just enough to make it kind of stand out. So it's better than it was with no blush at all. There's enough there. This is going to do it for me. I'm going to play my splash screen, and then I will be back just to say good night. So, all right, or morning, or whatever it is. It's probably morning where you guys are at. So here we go with the splash. And please remember to like and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. Thank you, people. Hans, and we've had Unknown Robot here, and others who are watching. Have a wonderful rest of your existence. Okay, so I will see you again in the next EZ3DTV tutorial. You got a little bit of redness there, so just a little bit, and this will reticulate very nicely. It's going to take probably 6,000 iterations for it to come through for us, but yeah, this is how you do it, people. Thanks again. I will see you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning, brunch. Hans, thank you too for being here, keeping me company while I work. So it's very nice. You all take care. We will see you. Oh, thank you very much for the thumbs up. That's really nice. I'm going to be back with my video very soon. With the video down in the left corner, I had surgery on my eye and surgery on my face, and so I for a few days I'm going to look like a Cabbage Patch doll or some roadkill or something. So, but I'll be back. Okay, it seems to be healing up well, and it will be something you won't probably even notice. So very, very, very good. You take care, all you awesome, beautiful people. I will see you again very soon. Much love and peace. Alrighty. Bye-bye.